frontline fray in the 68 assembly constituencies. At stake is not only power in the hill state, but also a chance to upend the state's political tradition of voting out the incumbent. Having done it once in Uttarakhand earlier this year, the BJP believes it can bank on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity, development agenda and the lack of a popular opposition face to secure a second consecutive term. Let me first set up the battle for you. What is at stake? What are the big numbers that we are looking at? So 68 assembly constituencies, as I just said, in all 55 lakh voters who are casting their vote in these 68 constituencies. So far, Himachal has seen a bipolar contest. This time it appears to be a three-way contest with the new entrant in Aam Aadmi Party. There are 43,000 first-time voters and hence they hold the key certainly. The question certainly is, what will decide battle for Himachal Pradesh? Will it be alternating just as it has shown all these years, or will it come as a surprise? Remember, in 2017, the BJP won 44 seats. The Congress won 21 seats in Himachal Pradesh. I'm going to go straight to Arun Dhata, but before that, let's listen in to the soundbite that has come in from the Chief Minister.
बिल्कुल कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ, जीत होगी और अच्छी जीत होगी, शानदार जीत।
सर, चुनाव आयोग के द्वारा उत्सव मनाए जा रहे हैं।
फीडबैक्स बहुत अच्छा आ रहा है और वो फीडबैक इस तरह का आ रहा है कि उत्साह के साथ लोग वोट डाल रहे हैं। और दूसरी बात जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है कि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज वो ये है कि शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से लोग मतदान करें।
तो क्या रिवाज बदला जाएगा?
जिस क्षेत्रों से रिवाज बदले।
ये सेल्फी पॉइंट आएंगे आप एक बार। ये बनाया गया चुनाव आयोग के द्वारा
That was Jairam Thakur. He is contesting from Mandi constituency. But before I bring in the guests, those who have traveled the state of Himachal to get you the sights, sounds and ideas, what are the issues that are deciding the choice of the voters in the hill state, I'm going to go straight to Arun Dhata, who's joining me live from Hamirpur. Remember, INB Minister, the Sports and Youth Affairs Minister, is a member of Parliament from this constituency of Hamirpur. What is the mood like there early morning, Arun? Good morning.
Well, good morning, Maria, and good morning to our viewers. In a short while from now, we are told that Anurag Thakur, along with his family, of course, the former Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, Prem Kumar Dhumal, will come out from their residence and will go to the nearest school, the polling booth, where they will be casting their votes. And it has been a very, very hectic schedule. Of course, you have also, did a campaign trail with Anurag Thakur. He travelled across all the 17 constituencies which falls under his Lok Sabha. Remember, he is the four-time member of parliament from Hamirpur, and therefore he has huge responsibility on his shoulder. And we know that how BJP had a high-octane campaign in the state, starting from Prime Minister Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, JP Nadda, and all other senior cabinet ministers were present here doing their separate rallies, meeting people in different areas. So this time around, the sense that I've got while traveling across the state is that it is going to be a very, very tough contest between both BJP and Congress. Of course, there is a big problem which rebel candidates are creating for both Congress and BJP, but BJP seems to be at the top as far as damage is concerned from those independent. Even here in this Hamirpur constituency, Lok Sabha constituency, where last time BJP had managed to win 2 seats, 3 had gone to Congress's side, and in total, if you see, the 17 seats which falls under the Lok Sabha constituency of Anurag Thakur, BJP had managed to win 9 seats last time around. So this time around, he will be hoping to better his tally because he has given the responsibility. Specifically, he was tasked to move around in Hamirpur Lok Sabha constituency and make sure that BJP does well. Because if you see the nearing district Kangra, last time around, remember it is the largest. You have 15 assembly segments in Kangra. Thereby, it becomes the largest district in the state. So last time BJP won 11 seats, so they did fairly well last time, but this time around it is difficult for them because you have senior BJP rebels contesting independently in Kangra, which can create problem for BJP. Even in Mandi, the home district of Jairam Thakur, last time they had won 9 seats out of 10, and how they are going to match that, or if that did not happen, then how they are going to compensate from other districts. That is something which is going to be very, very significant. But of course, one thing is sure that this time around it seems to be a very, very difficult contest. Both of them, BJP has started their campaign, Riwaz Badlega, and Congress party has been completely banking on 2 issues. One of the history of the state, which witnessed change every 5 years. And second, of course, the OPS issue, which is the largest issue in the state. They are thinking that these 2 things will work in favor of Congress, and therefore we are not seeing that much intensifying campaign from the Congress's side.
All right, Arun, I'm going to come back to you in just a bit. But before that, let's listen in to Pratibha Thakur. She is she is the state president of the Congress party. And Pratibha Singh, in fact, she is also the face of that collective leadership that the Congress is projecting this time around.
देखिए, हिमाचल प्रदेश देवभूमि है और लोग सच्चाई के साथ चलते हैं, तो लोगों ने काफ़ी मर्तबा बीजेपी को भी मौका दिया सरकार बनाने का। उनकी सरकारें भी हिमाचल प्रदेश में बनी, पर जहाँ तक डेवलपमेंट की बात है और विकास की बात है, वो ज़्यादा उनका सहयोग यहाँ के लिए नहीं मिला, क्योंकि हिमाचल प्रदेश की जनता सच्ची पक्के लोग हैं और वो हिमाचल प्रदेश में इस बार कांग्रेस को अपना वोट देंगे, कांग्रेस को जिताएंगे, कांग्रेस की सरकार बनाने में सहयोग देंगे, क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं कि हिमाचल प्रदेश में युवाओं को रोजगार मिले, ये बढ़ती हुई महंगाई पर रोक लगे।
So what are the X factors in this election? Will the Mahila constituency of Himachal be the deciding factor this time around as well? Will they be able to swing the election in favor of the BJP, or will it be the old pension scheme which will be the headache for the BJP? Are the rebels the headache for the BJP? The old pension scheme, as Arun was pointing out, it has become the key poll issue. The big question certainly is, what are the big issues that will decide the vote, and will it be the old pension scheme, or will the Mahila voters again say thumbs up to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's schemes, which are very much women-centric? Chief Minister, as we said, Jairam Thakur is also contesting. His constituency is Seraj. Let me bring in the reporters who have travelled the state of Himachal Pradesh. Joining me on the show, my colleague Pallavi Ghosh is joining me in the studio. I have Aman Sharma from News18.com. We have Jyoti Kamal joining us live. Also on the show is Dr. Ashwini Sharma, former bureau chief of the Indian Express in Shimla. Pallavi, what will decide this battle for Himachal Pradesh?
Well, I mean, Aman and I traveled to Himachal. We largely focused on Shimla and Solan area. But there are two things we certainly picked up from the voices. I mean, people are talking about jobs, they're talking about infrastructure. But I would watch out for two of those voters today, the large number of women voters. Because whenever we were speaking to women, whether they're elderly, whether they are young, there were a couple of first-time voters also we spoke to, and they happen to be girls. They're all talking about jobs. And, in Himachal Pradesh, a government job gives a deep sense of security. I mean, I would say, because I come from Bengal, in comparison to Bengal, that is also one state where people love to go in for a government job. There's a sense of security. So with a 30% reservation of jobs in governments given by the BJP, will that be the game changer? Because both the BJP and the Congress, essentially, Maria, are looking at the large number of women voters. And they are going to be out in large numbers. They're going to cast their votes. They are going to be looking for security. They are looking for jobs. And most of them do want government jobs. So I would look at that very, very keenly. And second, as Arun has himself pointed out from the ground, and this is something we picked up from there as well. And I'm sure you also did, Maria, when you spoke to the people there, the old pension scheme. Again, Himachal has a large number of the elderly population, and the families run on pension. Families run on pension. Families also run on, apple cultivation, apple crops, walnuts, so on and so forth. So these are going to be, in my mind, three key factors. One, women voters. Second, the old pension scheme. And third, of course, is the grievance and the grudges of the apple growers. They have been very upset, of course, with the BJP government at the state level. The BJP manifesto, as well as that of the Congress party, has tried to placate. In fact, the Congress manifesto mentions the part that we are not going to allow middlemen. You can sell whoever you want to sell it to. That becomes a very, very important factor, and the BJP, of course, has given its assurance on the GST. So to me, these are the three important factors which could be the deal maker as far as the Himachal elections are concerned.
Aman Sharma is also with us. Aman, in Congress's manifesto, one of the key takeaways, as Pallavi was pointing out, this is a state which is heavily dependent on government jobs. They speak about 1 lakh government jobs. The BJP says that their thrust is on entrepreneurship, generating that sense that youth of the state should be job creators, job givers, not be dependent on the government jobs. There was 10 key takeaways or 10 pointers in the Congress manifesto. The BJP said that let there be a shagun ka 11 numbers. What, according to you, is the big takeaway for this election? What is going to decide the voters' choice in Himachal?
I think, Maria, jobs are important. Both sides have promised jobs. BJP has also promised in manifesto. Congress has also promised in manifesto. BJP has even promised a startup fund in its manifesto to appeal to the youth. But I think the major issues, I think I will put it to three issues, touching upon what Pallavi also said. See, in Himachal, the old pension scheme this time is a major rallying point. As we traveled in Himachal, more and more pensioners we spoke to, they told us that Himachal में कर्मचारी ही सरकार बदलते हैं, कर्मचारी ही सरकार बनाते हैं. So in a way, close to 2 lakh families affected by pensions, that translate to 6 to 7 lakh votes. That's a big number. And the Congress promise of old pension scheme, when we traveled in Himachal, we heard a lot about it. And also, I think Priyanka Gandhi coming in the campaign and clearly saying that we will give it in the first cabinet meeting itself. She said that we have done it in Rajasthan, we've done it in Chhattisgarh, we've done it in Jharkhand. So we will also do it in Himachal. BJP stand on it has been a bit of a confused stand. I think the CM has been saying we'll set up a committee. Mr. Prem Kumar Dhumal said the demand of the employees is justified. Some people are questioning the financial viability of it in the BJP. So in a way, the old pension scheme, the Karamcharis, I think, seem to be siding a bit with the Congress. But when it comes to the women, I think, again, the women will be the deciding factor in this election. 48% women population in Himachal, which also votes in big numbers. On one side, I think, is the Congress promise of giving them 1,500 rupees per month to every woman aged between 18 and 60. On the other side, we have a 11-point manifesto by the BJP, which many are also saying that, as BJP also giving sops to women and what happened to the whole Revadi debate. But BJP also promising big sops to women, including scooties, including 33% reservation and government jobs. So in a way, the BJP has also tried, because women voted, if you see, if we've seen in the past elections in Uttarakhand or in Uttar Pradesh, they have backed the BJP on various counts, especially the free ration scheme, which has run in the COVID pandemic all across. Himachal women also benefited from it. The BJP has been stressing a lot on the woman voter. Even the PM has been stressing in his speeches on the woman voter. In the last speech, I think in Hamirpur, he said that women ने मन बना लिया है बीजेपी को सरकार में लाने का. So in a way, BJP is focusing a lot on the woman voter. It thinks the woman voter can swing the election. But also, I think the third important factor, which Arun Dhanta had mentioned in his when he spoke, these independents and these rebels. You know, there are just 68 seats in Himachal. Out of that, you have almost 20 rebels of BJP contesting. Elections in Himachal are Maria decided by 6 to 7% vote difference.
That's right.
Last time BJP won by 49% votes, Congress got 42% votes. The vote difference is very less. So the contests are very tight. You know, each seat polls about 50-60,000 votes. So I think the rebels will play a very important role. Congress is also struggling with it. BJP is struggling with it at a larger level. So what role did, and also I think because Aam Aadmi Party in a way has disappeared from the Himachal election towards the end.
Yes.
So, you know, I think that has also worked in the favor of the Congress because the anti-incumbency vote doesn't seem like getting cut to a large extent.
So, Jyoti, then both Pallavi and Aman are in agreement that the biggest headache for the BJP would be the old pension scheme. क्या कर्मचारी रिवाज ensure करेंगे? Because रिवाज बदलेंगे is the slogan of the BJP and Jairam Thakur. So if the Karamcharis are the big takeaway, and of course the Mahila factor, if they are the X factor in this election, will they again swing the election in favor of the BJP, as we have seen in several elections in recent times? Jyoti, according to you, rebels, old pension scheme, Mahila.
Okay. I mean, just to kind of put it in perspective, it's 3.5 decades of tradition in Himachal Pradesh where governments have been alternating. So that is something which is widely kind of being spoken about, that Himachal Pradesh has not been repeating governments for the last 3.5 decades. Then come the 3 Ps of any election. The number one is the performance of the current government. And then come the promises just before elections, both all the parties that are in the fray. And then comes the planning. So in terms of performance, because you are in power, so you have got to demonstrate performance. So that's where questions are raised, because that's where the execution is. So that's the easiest thing to strike. And that's what the Congress is trying to strike at, saying that old age pension scheme has not been introduced. Women voters have not been kind of taken care of. Infrastructure development, while it has taken place, has not been at pace. Compensation has not been given at 4x times for 4-laning of projects, because 4-laning has happened. So what the BJP is trying to say is that we have developed infrastructure in the state. We are fighting on pro-incumbency. We are going to change the rivas, what you were saying, ki rivas badlenge. Congress is saying there is a tradition in Himachal Pradesh. We change governments and it's anti-incumbency. It has not delivered on several fronts. Now, what are the issues that are being spoken about? It is the old age pension scheme. It is the government employees. It is when you talk about the old age pension scheme and the government employees, it's almost about 5 lakh, which is almost 10% of the voter base. And when you look at the unemployment in the state, that's almost 8 lakh people, which is almost, it goes to 15% of the voter base. So these are absolutely raging issues that are there. But then the third factor that I was talking about, planning. So what has happened is that for the last about 10 days back, it appeared with all the rebel factor, because like Aman was also pointing out, that the BJP has the maximum number of rebels. The Congress had an edge with all the promises that were being made. But then came the high-powered campaign which was unleashed by the BJP. You had Prime Minister Modi here, you had Amit Shah here, you had JP Nadda, you were talking about the emotional connect. JP Nadda is from the state. Prime Minister Modi was talking about the emotional connect. Anurag Thakur was kind of campaigning. So this very high-powered campaign. And on the other side, when you look at the Congress, it had Priyanka Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi was absolutely nowhere in the picture because of the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Yes.
So in the last few days, what the BJP is trying to do is to narrow the gap and turn it into a tight fight. And when it turns into a tight fight, that is where the BJP starts believing that their planning is going to kind of pull them through. So that is where the game is at this point in time. Of course, women issues, old age pension scheme, all of that is going to play a very important role. Anti-incumbency is very strong, but BJP not banking on planning and pro-incumbency.
Yes, so it is the BJP's election winning machinery. The fact that they have good booth management, will it really work for the party? And remember, this is the state where Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the General Secretary once upon a time. So he has that connect. In fact, he dialed up a number of rebels to speak to them personally as well. So let me give you a sense of the musical chairs as is being said, is played in the state of Himachal Pradesh. This is the state which has had the tradition of voting out the incumbent. So look at how the state has played out in so many years. 2002, the BJP had 16. 2007, it went on to get 41 seats. Then it formed the government in 2012. Again, the numbers went down because it was out of power. 2017, it returns to power with Jairam Thakur becoming the chief minister. Similarly, as you see this graph, it shows clearly that it is one time it is the Congress, the other time it is the BJP, because as we said, this is the state which has followed for last 3.5 decades. 3.5 decades. Yes, that's a long time, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it looks like as far as this hill state with just 68 constituencies has been. One time it is the Congress, the other time it is the BJP. Let me go straight to, let's look at the numbers, the other one as well. How Himachal has voted. This way, you can see how the graph appears. As we have been saying, this is the state where the BJP is hoping that Rivaj badlega. Let me bring in the fourth panelists now, who is joining us. Dr. Sharma, when we look at these, the assessment, which has been largely that there are concerns for the BJP, but there are advantages as well. There is that connect that the party has. There are headaches in the form of rebels. There are headaches in the form of the Karamcharis. What, according to you, will decide the battle for Himachal?
Himachal Pradesh has a tradition, as we were talking, your reporters and your panelists were talking about that. Yes, that's true. But one factor remains that there are no traditional rivals this time. Birbhadra Singh is no more in the picture, but the Congress is trying to focus on Birbhadra Singh's legacy, and there's a huge advertisement which has come in the newspaper with a wide picture of Birbhadra Singh. Mujhe mat bhulna. So they are trying to invoke Birbhadra Singh also in the elections. And on the other side, BJP has been banking on Prime Minister's Krishma in Himachal Pradesh. You know, in 2014 Lok Sabha elections, BJP swept all the 4 Lok Sabha seats. 2019, they won all the 4 Lok Sabha seats. Then in between, they have won 2017 assembly elections with a huge number. That was unprecedented number in Himachal Pradesh as far as BJP was concerned. Unfortunately, the projected Chief Minister Prem Kumar Dhumal lost the elections, and here comes Jairam Thakur, a younger leader. This was a generational change in Himachal Pradesh, bringing in a younger leader, and that set the trends also in the Congress. Now the Congress also has the younger leaders, right? So the issues we are talking, the biggest issue is definitely old pension scheme, because Himachal Pradesh has a very large number of employees, and this is the state which has the proportionally very large number of employees. Everybody looks at the government jobs, so the number is very high. And even if you consider that one employee can motivate, if he is angry with the government, he can motivate at least 4 to 5 family members and relatives and all that. The number goes very high. The old age pension scheme will have a major impact.
I have just enough time for the final word to Pallavi Ghosh. Pallavi, the Congress party is invoking Birbhadra Singh, one of the longest serving chief ministers, 7-term chief minister. They realize that there are memories that are associated with him. That is the reason why perhaps his wife is also the Pradesh Congress Committee president as well. They are talking about collective leadership. Collective leadership is what the Congress is projecting. Do you think, one of the points that Jyoti said, towards the end, if the BJP has managed to make it a tough contest from what it appeared initially as advantage Congress, which way will it go?
See, there are two things over here with the Congress party very quickly, because I've covered it and agree with Jyoti Kamal on that. See, the Congress has this attitude of getting a little bit of laid back. You know, when they are very gung-ho, that they feel that they are confident that, we can make it this time round, something goes wrong and they become very complacent about it. I got that sense towards the end. They began into a campaign very late, and we are talking about infighting or rebellion within the BJP pretty much is there in the Congress. I mean, Sukhwinder Sukhu, who of course wants to be projected as the CM in case the Congress comes to power. Pratibha Singh, on the other hand, they've not met eye to eye, and that's been a deep, and Mukesh Agnihotri for that matter, journalist turned Neta. So there is this deep infighting. I think the biggest and the most difficult task for the Congress party has been to get all of them together. So that is a temporary truce, but people people do talk about it. The camp is very divided. The supporters and the ones who do the grassroots work are very, very divided on that. But they try to have that semblance of unity. The fact that you had a Congress presidential elections bang in the middle of it, no clarity, yet there was a clarity. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra clearly becomes the face and the most high-profile face of the campaign. I don't think it helped the matters too much. That's one. Second, the complacency within the Congress party. I mean, Congress ka attitude often becomes, Maria, is that, it's going to be a cyclical pattern. And I would hear many of them say that. It's a cyclical pattern, hum to aayenge hi. The BJP's attitude becomes so what if it's a cyclical pattern? We can still break that jinx. I mean, Uttarakhand, I saw it happening in Punjab where Akali Dal came back to power. We saw Captain Amrinder Singh actually being super confident, cyclical pattern hai, todenge, so we are going to come back. And that didn't happen. I think these are the two factors. If the Congress party on the ground has been able to manage, then the Congress has a reason to be upbeat about it. But towards the end, both Aman and I saw, and we saw it happening, all of us did, how the BJP gives the last push. Very often the last 24 to 12 hours becomes very, very critical in becoming a deciding factor on who's actually going to cast the vote for whom.
Okay. Pallavi, Aman, Jyoti Kamal and Ashwini Sharma, thank you so much. I'm going to come back to them in just a bit. In fact, there's a tweet that has been put out by Rahul Gandhi, who is on Bharat Jodo Yatra. He has said that Himachal will vote for OPS, Himachal will vote for employment, and Himachal will vote for Har Ghar Lakshmi. Come vote in large numbers and make your valuable contribution for the progress and prosperous future of Himachal Pradesh. Remember, Rahul Gandhi hasn't campaigned in Himachal Pradesh. He is on Bharat Jodo Yatra, which is presently in the state of Maharashtra. This remains our top focus in the morning on Saturday. The battle for Himachal Pradesh, the hill state, which has also always, for the last 3.5 decades, voted out the incumbent. Will that Rivaj badlega? We'll watch. We'll have to wait though till 8th of December when the results are announced. For the moment, we are slipping into a short break.
Decided to give early remission to convicts. That's the whole principle on which our criminal justice system is built. So to that extent, what is wrong in releasing people who have spent the last 30 years of their life in jail?
Zaka, it's very disingenuous for DMK person to bring in state sovereignty, center-state relations, and trying to find a way out of this strange decision of releasing the terrorists, and to keep on harping on sovereignty, etc., and make that an excuse to release somebody. I think that is not really correct. I'm also appalled by the welcome given to the earlier convict also. Stalin actually welcomed the first release that a Perari villain based on which the new release order has been given. And Congress kept quiet at that time. And it is not at a politics I am playing. As a citizen, I'm hurt. Whether I was critic of Rajiv Gandhi, etc., is immaterial. A PM was killed, an ex-PM was killed very brutally, and people were sentenced to death. And Stalin, as CM, welcomes the person who killed the ex-PM, and Congress kept quiet. And I also do not understand, it was not just Mr. Rajiv Gandhi who died as a family man. He was the leader of the nation.
Yeah.
14 people lost their lives, innocent people lost their lives.
Correct.
Who will look after them? Do they need justice? So whether it's justice of one person vis-a-vis justice for the nation, justice for 14 people killed, and justice for a body blown out of sight. And I don't agree that the Gandhi family can their own views vis-a-vis Congress, because Congress is basically a Gandhi party. And as a citizen of India, I think personal decisions cannot be done for the nation. National decisions have to be taken on national will, and that is where Congress went wrong.
It is a well-recorded fact that the entire Gandhi family, from Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, had all forgiven Nalini and the other accomplices in the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi. If they, who were the most affected by this, were willing to forgive, then what is the Congress party's problem? Adil, if you can hear me, that question was to you.
Is that to me, Zaka?
Yes, that's to you.
Is that question to
Yes,
me,
yes,
Zaka?
Adil, that question is to you, Adil, yes.
Well, Zaka, at the outset, the Congress party has the highest respect for the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Having said this, as a party, we are disappointed because late Sri Rajiv Gandhi was not just the leader of the Congress party, he was a former Prime Minister of this country. He was also your Prime Minister. The Gandhis may have forgiven the assassins, the killers, but the fact of the matter is that this was a deep-rooted conspiracy against India. It was a premeditated conspiracy which targeted the sovereignty and the integrity of our country. And therefore, it is our humble submission that the court ought to have considered the overall complexion and the overall facts and circumstances of this case. So, therefore, in that context, we as a party and we as Indians are disappointed.
Mr. Radhakrishnan is Nalini's lawyer. He's joining us. What message does this send? A former prime minister was killed. This was a terrorist.
Folks, a little controversy. The CGI swearing in. Apparently, some critics say PM Modi was absent. Why? I want to support the Prime Minister here for sure because I remember a very similar story when I won Best Anchor at the Indian Television Awards. My wife didn't turn up. So what I'm trying to say is that if your boss doesn't go, doesn't mean your boss doesn't like you. Not to say that he's the boss because it's a democracy. There's no boss. We are all equal. It's called the week that wasn't. Wow, folks, what a game, what a match, what a tournament. Deserving winners. Well played. Well played. Okay, I'll tell you what the hangama here is all about. Basically, we're recording this earlier before the finals actually played, so we don't know who won. So I'll take a pause and you put in the winner, okay? Well played! Yes, well played, those guys. Well, those guys were great. That country, I tell you, which could be this country, but I don't know. That country, our country, your country, somebody's country, well played. Whatever you say, India's presence in the men's T20 World Cup, huge. Without India, there's no cricket. But in the upcoming FIFA World Cup, few days away, FIFA World Cup, not much Indian participation. I mean, are there any Indians in Qatar? Oh, except arranging chairs, painting, catering, car pickup and drop, bodyguards. There are some bodyguards also. Hey, but what a successful men's T20 World Cup. You know, don't take the shine away from Australia. Well done, Australia. Well done. And it was very, very lucrative. Lots of money was made. According to the bookies. No, there's no inside story. We have nothing more to report. Our investigative skills are very low, as you know. Rishi Sunak is an avid morning exerciser. This is absolutely true. I have been following this man since he was 14 years old. He's younger than me, that's why. Okay, that sounded wrong, but I have been following him. He never misses his gym routine. Never. In fact, Sunak is in the gym every morning at 6 o'clock. So Sunak's in the gym, our leader Namo is doing his yoga, Putin is practicing his karate and judo, martial arts, and Biden, that's, well, he's just trying to get up. So, you shouldn't kick a man when he's down. Ageism, I apologize. By the way, Britain's economy is really in shambles. It's so bad that last week at Westminster Tube Station, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak himself was busy trying to supplement his own income by selling poppies on a tray. That's true. In between, this is what he's got to do. Typical Indian, no? Working two jobs. Worse still, he was accused of a hate crime. He refused to give ethnic Indians a discount. You see that? You see how we turn on our own the moment we get some success? Huh? You suddenly forget you're Indian. Happens to everybody. All right. Virat Kohli turned 34 last week and KL Rahul turned 30. Let me explain. That's 34,000 crores and 30,000 crores respectively. Yeah. Well done. Oh, last Thursday, actually, UK's new PM took a sick day from work. Well, you know, can't blame him. India versus England, too much pressure for the Indian that isn't. Or is. Not sure. Byju's, what have you done? Byju's got a lot of slack for signing up Leo Messi as a brand ambassador, while at the same time sacking employees on a large scale. This is similar to government spending crores and crores of rupees on statues instead of bridges, roads and infrastructure. No, sorry. Byju's crime is much worse. Statues are important. Messi isn't even Indian. Although a statue of Messi would be cheaper. By the way, those of you in Byju's who've lost your jobs, you can approach Twitter and Meta. Sorry, lots more coming up, but first the headlines. Rishi Sunak completes second week in office. The World Cup comes to a glittering end down under. Okay, before we go to our top story, I don't want to sound like those jingoistic patriots. We don't have too many of those. But I just want to make an observation here as the editor of the show. And this is my observation. Rishi Sunak, Indian origin, comes to power in UK, and within 1 week, it's looking better. The economy is going in the right direction. In 1 week, Elon Musk comes to power, replacing an Indian, Parag Agarwal, in Twitter, and everything crashes. So clearly, Desi leaders are what the world needs. So here's a great point for the world. Let's outsource our Desi leaders to the rest of the world. Two things we get out of that. One, of course, our name shines across the world. And two, less Indian leaders here. Even I like that. Okay. As Rishi Sunak, of course, completes his second week as UK's Prime Minister, there might even be a third week. Good news. In an interview, he spoke about his pride on being Britain's first non-white, Asian and Hindu premier. Joining us now to discuss the new PM and his Indian connections is another alleged Indian who lives in the UK, Lord Kersey Billamoria. I have a contact who knew him, so we were able to get him on the show. He's very famous and he doesn't talk to people. He's an introvert and a quiet man. Lord Billamoria, thank you for coming on the show.
Good morning, good morning. You can address me as Right Honourable or My Lord.
Really? Are we going to play that game? Are you a hereditary peer or were you created a Lord later?
Although I was created a Lord much later on in life, I have to admit that when I was born, the doctors, nurses and my parents looked at me and they all said at the same time, "Oh my Lord."
I can understand. It's probably because they're well-educated, sophisticated people, so they say, "Oh my Lord," instead of the colloquial, "Oh, hell." Oh. All right, let's talk about Rishi Sunak, first Prime Minister of Indian origin. And you are, of course, a Lord of Indian origin.
Yes. We have a few things in common.
Yes, you do, apparently. Like, please tell us.
Like, I have one brothers and one sis. He has one brothers and one Infosys.
What? Were you told we were going to talk to you about this and you planned that gag for 20 minutes before? It looks like it. But anyway, at the same time, you both are of Indian origin.
Be that as it may, there is a little difference, my dear.
There's a difference, really?
My lord.
Really? My lord?
Yes, that's better. I am in the House of Lords. He is in the House of Commons.
But then again, you're both from India, right? I mean, that's something.
So what? He is Oxford. I am Eton. Much better college, very upmarket.
Okay, but let me just point this out to you because I've researched this. For once, I've researched this script completely. He also has a Fulbright scholarship from Stanford in the United States.
Stanford. Considering he is Asian, I might have thought he studied at Brown.
Brown? That's racist. I mean, you're both from India. You're both brown.
But there is a difference, my dear. We may be both from India, but he is Indian and I am a Parsi.
Okay, I'm divided on this argument. I'm not sure whether I should be with you or against you. I need to just plead what the Americans call the fifth, or is it the fourth or the sixth, one of them. Now, come on, he's the first coloured Prime Minister of Britain. Something to be proud of?
Oh, not at all. Liz Truss was also coloured.
Liz Truss was coloured? How?
2 months in office and she got red in the face.
Phrase in English would be egg in the face, but we'll let it go because you're Indian. Okay, let's talk about Rishi Sunak for a second.
The one thing is for sure about the Rishi Sunak. King Charles III seems to like him a lot.
And how is that?
They are quite similar.
No, now stop it. Now you're really pulling my leg. Similar in what way?
Only a few difference in the years.
What? Oh, no, stop it. Now you're really yanking my chain. Charles is 73 batting. Sunak is just about 42. That's almost 30 years between them. So how can you say only a few differences in years?
Not those years. These years. They both have nearly the same inches, you see. Little bigger, little smaller. That is all the difference.
This could be a reality show. Also the nose. I mean, yes, there seems to be a lot of commonality here. Very interesting. Thank you so much for being with us. Are you sure you're a lord?
Well, God saved the king now. Come on, let us go.
Okay, all right. That was Lord Kersey Billamoria, who lives in Prabhadevi but keeps insisting he's a British citizen of sorts. Anyway, in UK, after Rishi Sunak got elected as Prime Minister, as you can well imagine, and this happens all the time when someone from our origin does really well anywhere in the world, we all claim him, right? So many Indians have arrived in Britain and are claiming to be relatives of Rishi Sunak. So we sent Gopal Dutt Tiwari, India's finest actor bar none, on ground in the UK. The question is, where do we get the budget for that? It's very simple. We just put him on a ship. Okay, so that's why it's taken so long for him to reach. Now, to find out more about all this, we've got Gopal on hand in the UK. I think it's a place called Brighton, the Seven Sisters in Brighton. There you go.
साइरस एज यू नो मैं यूके में हूँ. पीछे सेवन सिस्टर्स फेमस हिल्स हैं, जैसा कि तुमको नहीं पता होगा, बट आई एम टेलिंग यू. सो साइरस, आफ्टर ऋषि सोनक जो इंडियन हैं यूके में, उनमें एक बड़ा एक्साइटमेंट है. तो मैं उन लोगों से पूछ रहा हूँ, लेट्स मीट देम एंड आस्क देम व्हाट इज़ देयर रिएक्शन. तो मुझे यहाँ फेमस एक्टर मुकुल चड्ढा दिख रहे हैं. इनसे पूछते हैं, ये भी ऑलमोस्ट यूके में ही रहते हैं. व्हाट्स योर नेम सर?
सॉरी मुकुल चड्ढा नहीं, मुकुल सुनक इज माय नेम.
बट आप तो मुकुल
नहीं वो आई जस्ट स्क्रीन नेम आई हैड टेकन मुकुल चड्ढा. मैं मुकुल सुनक इज माय रियल नेम.
ओह, सो व्हाट इज द कनेक्शन बिटवीन ऋषि सोनक एंड यू?
ऋषि भैया?
हाँ,
ऋषि भैया नहीं, we know each other a long time. We've been, I mean, वो actually exactly वो क्या कि my family had gone to Kenya once, पास वीज़ा लेके.
Okay.
So हम मिले थे एक बार, और उन्होंने family name हमसे लिया शायद.
उन्होंने आपसे फैमिली नेम लिया? I'll talk to you later, sir. साइरस, मुझे लग रहा है ये झूठ बोल रहे हैं. कुछ और इंडियन से पूछते हैं.
There's no question of that being Mukul Sunak. That is Mukul Chadda. Okay, the famous actor. He's worked with us many times, and he's got an agent abroad, and he's using this as a launch pad for him, knowing that this is a show that is going to be watched by all Westerners who will cast him in Western productions. And I think that's disgusting, Mukul. I'm disappointed, Mukul. I don't think we can. We have to have a conversation about this when you have the time. All right. But he has got some real relatives, so let's go and see who the next one is. Here it is.
साइरस, एक और इंडियन आदमी मुझे यहाँ दिख रहे हैं. आई थिंक ही इज़ NRI जो हु लिव्स हियर. लेट्स आस्क हिम. सर, आपका नाम क्या है?
जी, मेरा नाम
रवि इनका नाम है. सो आप बताइए, जो ऋषि सोनक जो पास आ जाइए, हाँ, ऋषि जो PM बने हैं, उनसे उसके बाद क्या रिएक्शन है आप लोगों का? जो
वो मेरे ताऊ जी के लड़के हैं. मैं तो अभी एक हफ्ता पहले ही आया हूँ यहाँ पे. उनकी वजह से उनको जिता दिया बस.
तो पहले आप इंडिया में थे?
हाँ जी. और
अभी आप इधर आ गए?
हाँ.
क्यों
यहाँ पे भी इंडिया बन गया ना.
यहाँ पे इंडिया बन गया. तो आप कह रहे हैं कि वो आपके ताऊ जी के लड़के हैं?
हाँ जी. जब तो आया मैं, जब आया मैं, तो मेरे को तो वीज़ा ही नहीं मिल रहा था. उनसे कहा तब मिला.
साइरस, मुझे लग रहा है सब लोग झूठ बोल रहे हैं. किसी और से पूछते हैं.
Every single out-of-work actor in the United Kingdom cannot behave like this, you know. Just come and point fingers and say, this is my relative, that is my relative. If you notice, he had no facts. He had no references. He even said the name incorrectly, as did Gopal. They don't even know how to pronounce Rishi Sunak, so I don't even know what's going on here. But I'm hoping, Gopal, please give me someone that's actually a relative. Come on, Gopal.
साइरस, एक और मुझे इंडियन दिखने वाले आदमी यहाँ पे दिख रहे हैं. लेट्स गो एंड आस्क हिम. भाई साहब जी, आपका नाम क्या है?
मेरा नाम उपेन.
तो आप यूके में रहते हैं?
हाँ, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट.
तो मुझे बताइए, जो ऋषि सोनक जो PM बने हैं, उसको लेके क्या रिएक्शन है इंडियंस में, और आप